What's up, everyone? It's Demolition Derby for Life. I'm here going to do a video on RC Derby bodies. So where I'm from, we do metal bodies, or not metal, aluminum bodies. You can go to any hardware store, any like Home Depot, Menards, I'm assuming like Runnings or any like hardware store, and you can go and buy this sheet metal. The sheet metal is this stuff here. It comes in a big roll. I've used quite a bit of it. There's maybe 20 feet on it left, maybe not quite that much, but there's quite a bit on it yet. And this stuff is about, for the big roll, is, I'd say, I think it was like 70 some bucks for the big roll. And that big roll has made me 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4, and then I have 3 more upstairs. One's a bus, one's a big truck, and then the other one is like another one like this, kind of like that. And that roll has, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 7 bodies on that roll. And there's at least enough there to make 1, possibly 2, maybe 3 more. So I can't remember, it's like 1/8 scale gauge aluminum, something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I'd have to go to the Runnings or have to go to the store again and find exactly what it is. I don't have the box anymore, it's actually cut up, so nothing I can do about that. But going into making these bodies, it is very, very simple. So what you want to do is you want to go on the internet, or if you're artistic like me, beautiful, you can draw your own bodies. What I first did is, when I got started on this, I bought my very first RC Derby body. I didn't know exactly how to make them. I wanted to know and I wanted to get dimensions and stuff like that. And I went to JC Motorsports. I can't remember. JWC Motorsports. They do RC builds and stuff like that. You can go on YouTube and look it up, and they have a video designated onto what they do and stuff like that. And that's what I did. I went online. I bought my first body, which is actually this one here. I modified it quite a bit from when I first got it. It doesn't come very built like how this is now. This is actually a lot more built to what they actually give you. So what I did is I took the dimensions, I measured everything, I kind of traced out the body, and I took cardboard, which I have over here, and I designed my own body. I took the dimensions of the hood, the trunk, and the roof. Realistically, the hood and the trunk are about the same, but I redesigned this to my own liking, so you can't really go off of that. It's very simple. It is very simple. So all what you do is, after you get your dimensions and to see how big it is, you also can go off of your rules. You can do your own measurements, or to what the rules are, and then you can build it to that length. So, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold. Sorry about this, guys. But what I do, so after I got all my measurements that I did, let's find the first one I did. This is my first design. I copied and kind of traced it. You actually want to do it. So after you get your measurements on what you want to do, make it a quarter inch. Yeah, make it a quarter to a half an inch long. Because then when you do this, after you get your measurements, you're going to end up folding over about a quarter. I do a 1/4 inch. That way I got enough space for doing rivets on the top and on the sides. So after you do that, you fold over a 1/4 inch of here. You make your slits. Oops, sorry guys. So you fold it over, and you have to put slits in here so you can fold the tops and all this other stuff. And oh, sorry guys, I got a runny nose. So you'll have these here. These flaps will be rolled over. And also for the hood, you'll do the same thing. Is you'll make it so this is supposed to be 12 inches wide, and I want to do a 1/4 inch roll. So I'll do a flap. So I'll do a 1/2 inch longer. So it would be, instead of 12, it would be 12 and a half. So that way I can do the extra rolls. Same thing with the trunk and roof. You'll do that. You'll make that extra flap. The reason why you want to do that extra flap is so you can add rivets to the side and on the top. That's going to help hold your bodies together a lot better. Just like here. You'll see here, I got rivets on the side and top. That's going to help hold your bodies together so much better. Very simple. After you get your bodies traced out and designed, like I have a couple different designs. That one. I did a truck, which I have the cardboard cutout. This is the car. Same thing here. Not quite exactly the same, but about the same. So I did all my measurements, how I wanted to build it. I measured it all out. I traced it and added a 1/4 inch for play. There's the body. I drew the body out, how I wanted it to kind of look like, and did it. Here's a bus. Oops, I gotta fix that. But here's a bus. This is to what the measurements are of what I needed it to be. I want a 1/4 inch long, so that way I had extra flaps. But yeah, simple. You just draw it out and cut it out. This is my truck. For my truck, I couldn't decide of how I wanted the top to look, which I will end up doing another video on what all my bodies look like. This is kind of just how to make your bodies. I just traced it out, made everything a 1/4 inch long, and then so I will be able to make it out. And then like here, I don't even need this anymore, but I still have them. Like this is the roof. Those are the dimensions that I used. I made it all a 1/4 inch long so I could use it. And then like this is, what was this? I mean, I didn't really need to do it because the hood and the trunk are about the same. I mean, you can make them a little bit longer or shorter. Don't matter. It's up to you guys. But like, that's the, I guess this was the trunk. Which one's this? This is the hood and roof. The roof of the wagon had to be longer, but, and it could be the hood too. Like, it don't matter. It's all about the same. You just kind of gotta go to what your measurements are. The hood of car, and this also would work for the trunk area. But after you got all that figured out, how you wanted it drawn out, after you got it all drawn out, you put it down on your sheet metal or whatever you got, and then you just trace it out on there. And after you got it traced out, you're able to cut your metal to what it would look like for the side. So this is what it would look like on the side. I designed this body a little different. I didn't put a back window in. I left it kind of looking like a hearse almost, or like a I don't know, like a different kind of wagon. I don't know what that would look like. Kind of like a van maybe, but I'm kind of going for a hearse look. But I mean, that's how my body came out. I riveted it all together after I cut everything out and then started riveting. Bumpers are very easy to make. It's all about just riveting a bunch of flaps together And then, yeah, I put a little pointy on the front. My rules had told me that I can only have it 3/4 of an inch. So for the point, that's what I did. We'll see how it holds up. It's supposed to just crush in, have like nothing really, but whatever. And then what I do for decoration, and also this I believe will help a lot, is I have a strap. This goes from the top of the hood down to the bottom here. Did I do it on this one? Oh yeah, I did, right there. So this strap will hold the bumper on better, because eventually, once you hit with the front so many times, the rivets that you use to hold it on will loosen up and they'll start to wiggle back and forth. This strap, I believe, will help a lot hold the bumper on and keep it from falling off. Also, this is just mainly for decoration. If you wanted to, you could double it, and this will keep the roof of the car, if it gets hit, it'll keep it from getting pushed in and down. And then it will also help protect your components, because if you get tipped on the side like that, people can come in and just hit you right here, and it'll push everything in, and then that's just a chance of some components inside here getting damaged, and we don't like that. That's also why you put in a halo bar. This halo bar, you don't think it would do much, but this actually helps a lot. This keeps it stiff. It keeps it from getting pushed in really bad. All what you do is, I did it, I think like 1.5 inches wide, and then you do it 3 layers thick. So you basically cut your sheet metal into strips, or not strips, into about 3 inches wide. You make, and each mark you fold to 1 inch, to the other 1 inch, and then you fold again. And you just pound it tight, and then you got your halo bar. It takes quite a bit of metal actually to make these. That's why I reuse them. Like, I took that one off because there was a lot of metal to use. So I drilled out the rivets that was holding it and moved it to the next one. Which it's actually right there. It helps just protect the components and stuff. Roof signs, they don't do much, but if you design them to where it is a like a pyramid, you can actually save yourself. Because if you get rolled on your side, and the pyramid will help kind of keep you on your side or from getting fully rolled on your top, which it could still happen, but like, so here, if I get tipped upside down like that, I'm done. But if it's more of a pyramid, it's got like leeway. It will keep you from fully rolling upside down and not from being able to be saved. But so if I am like this, and you get hit, you're gonna roll easier. Instead of being upside down, you get hit, you're gonna slide. But I haven't done that design yet. I just haven't been able to kind of figure out how I want to do it. But I think that would actually be a good way to do it. Back strap, just for decoration. It's nothing spectacular, because if I get hit in the back here, it ain't gonna do much. I got a lot of sheet metal in between. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. And this has got this body here. I've repainted it. Actually has a heat, a consi, and a feature. So it's got basically 3 runs. So time wise, it's probably got maybe half an hour of a run, and it's still holding up very well. I mean, the back ends was out to like basically out to here. It's pushed in maybe 1/4 inch. It's not that bad. And it's starting to bubble up, but whatever. I mean, there's an inside look. Also, what you want to do, you can see inside here. I have a aluminum cage in here. This is something you definitely want to go. When I bought my first body, it just came with it did come with a cage, but it came with it was just like this gauge metal here. It was just wrapped 3 times like you do with the Halo bar. I didn't really care to find out if that cage was actually good or not. So I went with aluminum. I think it's like 1/16 aluminum. And then this is built to my rules. I can't go past. And it's just got to be a 4-point cage. Or a 4-point cage, nothing significant. You also can do bracing. I do not do the bracing just because I don't have enough metal to use for bracing. But if I wanted to, I would put bracing from here to here, here to here. You're allowed basically all 4 corners. That helps hold the cage in very well. Keeps it from getting pushed in, again, from components getting damaged. There's only so much that these little bumpers can do, and this cage helps a lot. And you can see here on this pre-ran body, that cage still moved. It got pushed in that far, and this thing is mangled too. But you can see this body is just wrecked. What's another good example? This one here. This one was one I used in my point series. You can see that body was out, but now it's kind of starting to get pushed in. You can see the cage is actually starting to bow. I mean, you don't think about it much, but those things, these RC derbies, they hit hard. They are very hard-hitting derby bodies. Which I'll actually do an aftermath on this. This front bumper was not on there. The bumper I had on there is gone. Didn't get ripped off, but it was basically flat. You can see body is still in really good shape. Starting to get pushed in. It started to tear back here. You can see I'm allowed fix-it plates. That's what I did. Is you basically take your aluminum sheet metal over there, you cut it into small strips, and realistically you don't need to steal off the actual roll. By the time you actually are done with the body, you'll have enough left over for these straps, so you don't really have to worry about it, because you will have enough for these straps by the end of the time you're done with one of these bodies. I'm allowed, it's only so many straps you can do on the body, but these straps here are keeping it from getting ripped completely off. I've done a little bit of fixing, and you can see this is actually starting to roll back. This bumper back here is flat. This I actually pounded back down. This was actually flipped up, straight up and down. I'm trying to pound it down so that way when I start getting hit back here again, I hope it doesn't go up, but I'm guessing it's going to. I hope it actually goes down and packs in. And body lines, you can definitely put body lines in if you can. I've seen how they do it at, or like the people I compete against. I've seen their body lines, and it's so cool how they do it. I don't have the quite right equipment to do it, but eventually one day I will do it. But I just got to get it figured out first. I mean, you can see, I mean, this thing took a beating. This one only has 2 runs on it, a consi and a heat run. Heat run I took, I think it was 5th, because they take the top. No, they took the top 4. So I got 6th, and I just was 2 shots short. I got pushed out, which sucked, but oh well, it happens. And you can see it's starting to bubble up the front. But yeah, and bodies are really easy to do. I kind of hope this video helps a little bit on how to make the bodies. If you're interested in doing RC derbies, I think RC derbies are a blast. I think they're so much fun. I definitely think people should start getting into it more. And it's a lot cheaper to do than actual derbies, building actual derby cars. It's not much cheaper. I mean, it's probably a couple $1,000 cheaper, depending on how much you want to stick into it. But if you only want to do it a couple times, buy some cheap setup off of Facebook or whatever, buy new, and just kind of have fun with it. Make your own bodies. Like, this is the first one I bought. I didn't think it was going to do all that great. I just kind of bought it for a fun deal, and I've modified it. Like, I've modified it so much that it's mine now. It's not someone didn't make this, or they kind of made it. They made it, but I modified it to what I like it to look like. I mean, this looks so much better compared to what it was when I first got it. But there you go, guys. There's a video for you guys to think about. If you guys are interested in RC derbies, and if you live in Minnesota, look up, I think it's MNRC Derby. I think it's something like that. Try to get into the group. It is a fun group. They sell stuff on there too, so you can buy some already set up stuff. It's going to cost you a little bit more because some of the setups are actually really well. And I might try selling a couple of my setups to some newbies if people are actually interested in it, but no guarantees yet. But there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below on what you think and what else if you actually do RC derbies. Give me some more ideas on what I should do. But these are just my ideas. I think these actually held up fairly well. In my eyes, they held up very well. I'm actually not the best at it. The people I compete against are super well. They actually compete in like very big tournaments or events. They compete in very big events with, like, down in Topeka, Kansas. They have an RC derby. They competed down there in the team show, and one of their teams took, I think it was 4th. They had like 5 or 6 teams down there, and I think one took 2nd, one took 4th, and then a couple took like 7th, 8th, and then I think like 12th or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they all said, but there you go, guys. There's some RC setups. Bumpers, I'm not going to go too in depth because I'm not really sure on how to explain it, but I mean, there's an idea. There's a lot of better ideas out there. This is just my idea, and my bumpers held up fairly well. In my eyes, they did. But there you go, guys. Also, my bodies are lighter than what I compete against, so they do bend better, faster, and stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure how to make them really tough, but yeah, there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.